What is up, Flesh and Blood players? Today we're going to be breaking down the Flesh and Blood TCG 6th birthday anniversary stream. So much to cover in this announcement. There's so much news, so many exciting things to talk about. We've got new previews, we've got a new format, we've got all kinds of announcements about just general things that are going to be going on in the next 4 months of Flesh and Blood. Traditionally, the December to January period has been kind of boring. Not next year, baby. We're doing all kinds of things. It's going to be very, very exciting. Just starting out though, I want to say please give us a like and subscribe if you enjoy our content and you're excited to see more in the future. And if you're keen on getting better as a Flesh and Blood player, please check out our Advanced Fundamentals guide, which is linked below on our Metafy. We spent an absolute ton of time writing it. I think it was about 2 weeks total writing time. We spent tons of time curating examples and ideas and concepts that we thought would be the best to kind of help you improve as a Flesh and Blood player and get you to that next level of being actually competitive. If you're someone who's kind of at that like 3-3 at a ProQuest every time level, you feel like you're stuck, this is exactly the kind of guide that we have written to kind of get you to that top 8 and winning level. So please check that out below. We spent so much time on it. I think it's a really, really good resource. I would highly encourage you to go check it out if you're even remotely interested. So let's kind of start off. We'll kind of go in the order of the stream. So we start off with this dev talk with Brian and James, and essentially they talk about kind of the invention of the format and the sunsetting of Blitz. The sunsetting of Blitz kind of being announced the other day. A lot of kind of interesting feedback about it, but essentially Blitz was meant to be the on-ramp format. You'd start with your 40 cards and then you kind of build up to CC, being obviously quite a large buy-in and quite expensive, and Blitz was kind of meant to be the intro that you've played first, that would give you the ideas that you need to kind of progress to CC, while still letting you play the same heroes, etc. The problem with Blitz is like having access to the exact same cards as CC made it kind of just while you were essentially playing CC but with 20 life, which is obviously like pretty problematic for a lot of reasons. That format was like very unbalanced pretty much every season it existed. Even since Blitz's creation, it was kind of falling flat at helping people actually get into the game, especially from a cost perspective, because obviously you still need all the same equipment and Majestics and Legendaries and stuff like that. So it just wasn't succeeding in the aims of what it wanted, and I think everyone could tell that. So they went through and they beta tested Project Blue, primarily through the New Zealand audience. I think they did some internal testing first and then moved on to there. Project Blue was essentially the alpha version of the game. We actually had several of our players playing and competing. Mr. Blue himself, Dennis Sang, has spoken a lot about the format and kind of spent a lot of time on it. Obviously, it sounds like it's a really exciting format. It's an eternal format, so it's not rotating either. It's common, rares, basics. You can essentially play whatever you like. Pretty much every hero in the game I think is legal in the format in their young hero form, but obviously just extremely exciting. And I think they mentioned that this is going to be a Pro Tour format at some point, which is also just incredibly exciting and means that you can kind of pick up just common rares and basics and then, you know, take that all the way to a Pro Tour. That's obviously just absolutely thrilling as like a way to get into a game. So if we move on here, we can get some more specific thing. And this line here, your $20 ticket to the $2 million World Tour, there's two things here. One, this means that the World Tour prize budget is going up to $2 million from 1.5, I believe it's at right now, which is obviously a huge amount of extra prize money that's going to be going out, which is very exciting. The other thing is we are getting these pre-constructed decks. We have Chapter 1, which has Dash, Bravo, Icelander, KO, and Viserai, and Chapter 2 has Enigma, Azalea, Arachne, Fi, and Dorinthia, which also come with booster pack for 20 USD, I believe is the pricing. These come out in February and are obviously going to be such a good way to get into the game. And obviously we've been told that these have been tested internally and these are meant to be like what the ideal versions of these decks in this format look like. Which means these are just going to be an amazing on-ramp to the game and honestly kind of unique in the TCG space. So this was our original ban list for Project Blue during the beta testing. Obviously, just pause it here if you want to go and have a read through this. Obviously, it's a very long list, but when you have every hero in the game, essentially, and every common, rare, and basic ever printed, there's going to be a lot of things you need to kind of mess around with. I think a lot of this is equipment or defense reactions, which you kind of need to reduce the power of defensive cards when this is kind of the thing. When there's less damage in decks, which makes a lot of sense, and then equipment, obviously there's just a lot of really powerful equipment at these rarities, like Rosetta Fawn, for example, which seems a bit outrageous. And from here, we got several new bands, like Fiddler's Green in all colors, which makes sense. Hooding Hood, which was a real problem in Azalea, because you would essentially just either go first and get a ton of damage, or you would crack your Hooding Hood on your opponent's turn 1 and put a card into Arsenal, which is, you know, extremely strong, and it's basically like a draw a card effect for free, which in Azalea just proved to be problematic. And then we had Nimby going. Nimby is extremely strong in this format, obviously, because there's a bunch of heroes that exist in this game. They give natural go again, like Briar, for example, and obviously the combo of Nimby plus Nimblism in deck is just extremely strong and a bit too far outside the scope of the game. Old Knocker is a new piece of equipment that came out somewhat recently in High Seas. Obviously, this is just like a generic best in slot for basically every deck, because just gaining a resource is extremely strong. Or getting the option to block one is also pretty good. There is notably like Blossom of Spring, which is kind of the same card. But yeah, obviously you kind of got a little bit of a nerfing on the chest slot there, so Old Knocker kind of had to go. Then we have Vigorous Smash Up. I'm not actually sure why they banned this card, but I presume that blocking 3 and making a Vigor proved to be a bit too degenerate in the play patterns. And then we have Reality Refractor going too. Obviously, 5 attack weapon, really good. Obviously, you do need to have Illusionist auras, but I think in Enigma in particular, this proved to be quite strong. So I can see with them kind of just tuning down all of the powerful decks, and I think that's a good way to go about it. So I think we had some failed marketing memes somewhere in here as well, which are really good. You should go check those out. And then we had Alan, new LSS dev, former Blue Pitch member Alan Lau versus Xing Zhang. Very excited to see these two working for LSS. If you don't know these two, they have been in the top 8 of like every tier 4 for like the last 2 years, since like World's Barcelona, I think. Incredible players, very exciting to see them embrace this opportunity to be devs. And go check out this game if you're interested in the format, but all the best to Alan and Xing. I hope they're having a great time working at LSS. So yeah. And then we had there's those failed marketing memes I was talking about. Here we had the announcement of the Black Friday booster packs. So these have 10 cards essentially in them. You get they have 2 cards in them. There is 10 cards in the pool, and you get one of these random boosters when you spend, I think it's $50 or something like that at your qualifying gem. I think this went up to the top, or just under the top 50% of LGSs and gem stores. So go check this out, available from November 28th. If you want to check out what's in these packs, the mystery behind them has been very excited to kind of speculate about and see what it is. From here we got some prize kits, as well as the announcement of Road to Nationals. Road to Nationals is January 3rd to February 1st. This is how you will qualify for your national event. It's obviously quite exciting. We've got the gold foils for first. This is essentially like an extra ProQuest season sort of that gets you into your nationals. We don't really have any information yet about how else we're going to qualify for nationals, but this is obviously really exciting to see. Road to National season is notably earlier in the year. I'm interested in what they're doing about Premier Play that dictates it being a bit earlier than it normally is. So maybe we're getting something cool next year that's gonna add an event season, like an extra season of Skirmish or something like that. So yeah. And then we got the Skirmish prize pool with the Cold Foil Everbloom Life or Cold Foil Consigned to Cosmos Shock, obviously being extremely exciting, as well as the Herald of Second promo. And I believe this is the last time we're going to be able to play Blitz. Yeah, this is obviously just another really fun way, and the Skirmish season at the end of the year is always a fun way to kind of wind down the format going into the rest of the season. So next we had some gameplay from the new Rhinar Armory deck, and we got to see all the new cards that are coming in this. Obviously massive time for Rhinar fans getting all of these new exciting cards. But yeah, obviously just incredibly exciting for them. Go check this out if you're like keen on the new Rhinar deck. We'll go through the new cards, which I believe are summarized at the end of the stream now. Here we go. Yeah. So we'll start off with the in-deck cards. So we have the blue 6 that we've been asking for like 5 years. So Alpha Instinct, it's a 3-cost, 6 attack, 0 block, Rhino spec. When this is discarded to beat chest, create a Might token. I don't think the text matters. I think the important parts of this card are the 6 on the bottom left corner and the blue at the top. I think people are very excited about this. It has a bit of a downside, but I think it's completely reasonable, especially since you were playing Brute, which, you know, it's Brute. It's looking for the variants anyway. So Beat Chest seems to be a bit of a theme of this deck, and seems to be a bit of a package of these new cards that kind of aim to tie together the mechanic from heavy hitters, I believe. So Burst Wing, which exists in red and yellow, is a 3/7, block 3, beat chest. When this attacks, if you've beaten chest this turn, and you don't control the chest equipment, this gets +2. Not controlling a chest equipment seems to be a theme with these cards, and these beat chest cards that seem to be more powerful than the older ones. In exchange for you just have to not control a chest to be powerful, and I think like the mechanics is you're meant to be like directly beating on your chest, not like your equipment or anything. And you're meant to be getting more amped up and powerful because that's also a really cool bit of flavor that we're seeing. And then Bear Distraction, which is a 2/6, go again if you've beaten chest, and the next brute action you get +2, and it's got beat chest itself. This card's really good. I think this card's going to be very strong. It's essentially a 2/8 go again, which is just kind of nuts with all the upgrades we've seen in Super Slime 2. I think Rhino's going to be very, very strong now. This is obviously very, very exciting to see come out, and I'm very excited to see what the Rhino diehards kind of do with this deck. And then we've got Smelthea, which exists in blue and yellow, 3-block, beat chest. If you've beaten chest this turn, Intimidate. Notably, you'll do a Rhino trigger from the beat chest, so you'll beat chest, discard a card, do the Rhino trigger, and then the Smelthea will resolve and you'll intimidate again. So you get 2 intimidates out of this card if you beat chest, and then your next brute attack action this turn your next brute attacks this turn, so it's like a barraging beatdown. If you've intimidated 2 or more times this turn, this gets +3. Oh, so it's like a different barraging beatdown. That's really interesting. So essentially it's rewarding you for doing the beat chest and giving you 3 value, so you're kind of transforming it, and then it's like on a value side it's not that great, but then the fact your opponent just can't block, it's super, super strong, obviously, which is really, really interesting. And obviously this combos with barraging beatdown as well. And obviously the thing with beat chest is the more you only have to beat chest once, like discard a card once, and then you turn on all the other ones. So it's like you're taking away a card from your hand in exchange for powering up all these cards. So these are obviously great with multiples, and now that we have a lot of cool, good options, I think this is really good. Notably, you can also discard things like Skullcrack or Beast Within, which give you benefits back when you discard a 6. So I think this mechanic is going to be quite strong this time around and going to be super interesting. So we got 4 new equipment pieces. Let's start from the top. We got the headpiece. Whenever you beat chest, you may pay a resource and destroy this. If you do draw a card, got battle 1/1. Not the best in my opinion. I think Scowling is obviously like a really scary card that I think it's going to take a lot to kind of unsheath. Talk of Him, which is the chess piece. Whenever you beat chess, you may destroy this. If you do the next brute attack action card you play this turn, costs 2 less to play. Battle 1/1. I think it's very likely that Savage Sash beats this out because it's just like, it's just so strong, and it's another card that destroys itself to make your beat chest free. Not to make your beat chest free, but make your beat chest like not have a chest for those new cards. And then we got a new art Goliath Gauntlet, which is really exciting to see this brute art one. And then Trampling Trackers is whenever you beat chest, you may destroy this. If you do, create an agility token, temper, and block 2. I think this card is actually quite good. It's like beaten trackers, but you don't get to know the card, but you get 2 block out of it instead of 1. I think it'll be really interesting to see if like beat chest Rhino is a thing, and if it plays this card over beaten trackers or scab skins. And notably, we got the announcement that these cards are not legal for World Championship 2025. I think the Rhino Armory deck comes out the day of World Championships, which obviously would provide a lot of logistical issues for kind of getting that together. Oh, and then we got, I really enjoyed this segment, we got gold for Reinhardt coming at World Championships Philadelphia with any purchase over 150 USD. You get a free Reinhardt Reckless Rampage Golf promo and Romping Club. So Hayden Dale, eat your heart out. Obviously, exactly the target audience for this. Yeah, it's definitely something. It's definitely a cool promo. If you enjoyed Brute, I imagine you'll enjoy this. Very cool to see Reinhardt kind of looking all specced out. Obviously, we've got World Championship Philadelphia coming out, which is very exciting. We've got the 3 promos for this event, the Dash.io, Florian, and Prism, which we'd already seen. And then from here, I think they're just wrapping things up. But we did get one special announcement at the end. We got the announcement that next year's promo for winning a calling will be quick dodge flexes in a Marvel version with this gold text. This is way cooler than the old gold foils. The extended art ones like Crown of Providence, Stonewall Gauntlet, and Balance of Justice. I think this is probably the coolest promo they've done yet. This might be the coolest card they've done yet. I imagine that yellow writing on the back of it is going to be like gold text lettered, like metallic, which is going to look amazing. Yeah, I can't lie, I'm pretty keen on getting my hands on one of these by winning one. And obviously, notably, we've got that green rarity symbol, but it's a triangle like the Marvel promo, which I don't know if we've seen before. This is incredibly exciting, and I think this is going to make winning a calling just even cooler. And obviously, it's quick dodge flexes. It's like one of the best, like honestly, maybe the best like slot in the game. It's like pretty up there. But yeah, so exciting. Obviously, this is just such an exciting stream overall. There's so much good news going into the new year for Flesh and Blood. This gave us such a good like glimpse about what we're going to be doing for the next few months before the next set release, and obviously the next kind of set of ProQuest and stuff like that. This is just such an exciting time to be into Flesh and Blood and enjoying the game. That's going to kind of wrap up our recap. If you want to see more content from us, I believe we're going to be talking more about World Championship Philadelphia and the meta that's coming out soon. And then we're also going to be publishing many more guides, hero-specific ones, on our Metafy. Go check out the Events Fundamentals guide. I really think if you want to improve, it's like the best way and the best resource to do so. I think I would recommend it to myself if I was getting into the game and kind of struggling to pick up some of the more advanced concepts. Obviously, massive amount of effort and time went into it. But yeah, just go check it out. I really think it is a valuable resource. And yeah, thanks for watching. Give us a subscribe if you enjoyed our content. Hit like, it also helps quite a lot to spread our reach and kind of get more people informed about what's going on in the game of Flesh and Blood. And keep an eye out for new videos and content coming soon. Alright, thanks everybody.